Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we are again with Dimir. I hope you guys aren't bored of Dimir, but I think you cannot get bored with Dimir. And I'm enjoying the archetype so much lately, like we have so many different builds, and while these all are control, they play so differently that every single deck feels a bit different and like has this twist that keeps you interested. I hope you feel the same way. So with that being said, what is today Dimir? This is some interesting version with cards that we don't usually play, and I like the Spell Pierce. I want to talk with you about the Spell Pierce because this is the card that I really enjoy lately, and I think it has so much power in the gameplay. The fact that it can answer Kumano on the turn one if you are on the play is pretty huge because no other card can. And the fact that enemy needs to pay more than Jewelry means that basically for most of the game it's the same as Negate, just cheaper. And I really enjoyed this part, especially that you want to counter like Planewalkers, all those big stuff. Like from our deck, what would you counter? Seagate Restoration, Invoke Despair, Lolth, and Sorin. And Memory Deluge maybe, and Celestus. Probably you can counter all of them with Spell Pierce. So this is a very interesting card, and I think it can be played more, and I will be experimenting with it. That's why it's Dimir Spell Pierce, because I'm fancy of this card right now. Other than this, this is very heavily a Lier deck. This is how we get infinite value, and you will see in some of the games how incredibly hard Lier can carry the game if it's unanswered. The amount of value this gives in this particular deck is just insane. And we have some synergies in like thought exactly about the Lier. Shadow Verdict, card that is one directional sweeper most of the time, because it doesn't kill Lier. So you can sweep the board, then enemy has nothing, they replay the creatures probably, not a lot of them, usually one or two. Then you play Lier again, and then the next turn, after you protect Lier with Fading Hope or something like this, you can Shadow Verdict again if it doesn't get killed. And this is usually how you close the game, because then you still have Lier. If you play like White Sweepers, you would lose the Lier as well, so that's a big difference. And we of course have the standard. We have March, we have Meathook Massacre, we have Celestus, we have the Vampire for live game. One Seagate Restoration. I think this will be the first game. If you think one Seagate Restoration instead of a land doesn't make a difference for the deck, definitely watch the first game. I think you might change your mind. And for all the Seagate Restoration fan, watch the first game, you will love it. And other than this, we have quite a lot of Planewalkers because we can take them back with Soul Transfer. So even though we have like one Sorin and one Lorth, in reality we have 4 Planewalkers in the end. We also, as you can see, have quite a lot of like lands that are spells. This is not an accident. We want to activate the Tainted Indulgence, so we want different mana costs. So Seagate Restoration is both a card draw, a land, and something we can discard with Celestus or Tainted Indulgence to activate more card draw, because we aren't very heavy on the card draw. Well, actually we are, but we basically have Memory Deluge and Invoke Despair, so I guess, yeah, in the end, I guess we are heavy on the card draw, but we don't have like this, 2, 3 card draw. Tainted Indulgence, unless activated, is basically a cycle, because you use one card, you need to discard second card, and you draw 2 cards. So don't forget, this is net zero. It's just a cycling, so that's why you want to activate it, to get it actually as a card advantage engine. Of course, it can give you cards, because if you have bad cards for the matchup, discarding them doesn't really hurt you, so it's nearly the same as getting free card. Alright, those are basics, right? Soul Transfer, we use this card because we have double Celestus, and let me tell you, if Celestus ends in a game, it stays until the end most of the time. Like, the amount of games that I had with Celestus that is going on for like 15 turns until I mill myself. And yeah, like this is very permanent card and not many decks answer it in any way. And Meathook Massacre, you know, that Meathook Massacre stays in the game. You played enough Magic to know this. And for this reason, Soul Transfer, if you are against slower matchups, you can just wait with this card until you can activate both modes. So this is very high value, and Exile effect is no joke against Tenacious Underdog. The card is a bit slow, but we have Fading Hopes. For this reason we have Infernal Grasp and March, so we can answer stuff. And don't forget, this deck is a bit heavy on the sweepers. Normally you can run like 4 Meathooks or something like this. We run 3 of them and 3 Shadow Verdict. So we are really committed to sweeping the board at turn, 3, 5, something like this, depending on what the creatures are. And definitely we need a sweeper, because then invoke the Spare Shines. If enemy has tokens of 1/1, you don't want to invoke the Spare. So that's why we need to make sure that the board is clear before we start drawing our precious cards. And the big interaction in the deck, Lier together with either Seagate Restoration or Invoke Despair. This is how you both get a lot of cards and the big board advantage. Without this card, you don't have great targets for Lier in value-based matchups. Like you have a lot of removal, but like imagine you don't have Invoke Despair. Memory Deluge has flashback, so you don't get super extra value with Lier. And what do you get back? Tainted Indulgence, I guess, and Soul Transfer. Those are the value cards. Rest of them is not perfect. You cannot use counter spells with Lier. So that's why we have invoked the spells, because this is the main target for the Lier if you are just lacking the value. Alright, and that is basically the idea behind the deck. There is a huge argument to go for the second hole because we don't have a lot of win conditions, and there will be one game that will make it pretty obvious, especially if enemy has Field of Ruin. So definitely you can cut one island and go for double hole. It depends on your playstyle. You can also cut the port. Port comes into play pretty rarely, but our creatures are important. Like if you can get Lier at the end step, this is actually important. And I also learned that you return a creature card. It's different than Blunt on the Snow. So if you are like me and maybe you'd never read the card too much, that's your cue to read the card. Alright, that being said, yeah, we have also the Hive, but Hole is how we deal a lot of damage. We also have one Field of Ruin to answer pesky lands from the enemy side as well, especially the Den of the Bugbear, which can be a problem if you don't hit instant removal, and this is sorcery speed, so something to keep in mind. Alright, and that's the deck. About the results and the games, one of the games will be extremely epic. I have left it because I feel that, oh boy, like it is a learning experience definitely for me, how to play the long control versus control games. I feel that there were some big mistakes from my part, and I've left the game and I've left the whole thing because I feel that everyone can learn a bit from this game, and it was really entertaining and it was extremely close for the full duration. I won't spoil how it ended, but definitely worth checking out. And if you want to perfect your control versus control, this is definitely the game that I feel that can contribute to it a lot. I learned a lot about after this game, and I will definitely change my gameplay a bit after playing this one. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed Dimir. Basically we had like 4 Dimir decks in a row. Man, I wanted to do something else, but in the end I just went with Dimir because I felt like I want to play Dimir again. So if you like me and you like this kind of decks, don't forget to subscribe. You get free decks every single day, and I think it's worth it if you are for the Magic content. So consider it, and if you are already subscribed, big thank you to you. You really help the channel and I really do appreciate it. So with that being said, let's go into the games and enjoy the epicness that happened. Alright, we are second, but we do have Fading Hope, so that hopefully will help us quite a bit. With Lier, like we have options for the late game, so we don't lose as much value. Otawara, there is a chance we might cast it, so let's play it as a land. So my reasoning here, we have only 3 swamps in total. We need 4 of them to cast Invoke Despair on curve. So if we cast this one on blue and this one on blue, we cannot really cast, you know, what we want. Alright. So this is the play, definitely. Memory Deluge is actually really good. Like, it's not something that helps us right now, but the fact that we can finally hit a 4-drop and refill our like hand with answers while having Jewari in the hand is just way better. Like, we still have a 3-drop like empty play, so that's not great, but you know. Alright, so what is their 4 mana play? Yeah, I think we play like this. Exile effect on the underdog is just so great, especially look at their cards. They have 5 before the turn, and we have 5 after. So that will probably go up to 3, yeah. So, while this is still good for them, I think it's also good for us. Alright, how do we do it? We should exile, right? So we go for 4, I believe, and we exile this. I should probably count, right? So 4, so this is 5 discounted by 2, so it's 3. Yeah, we can pay the word. Perfect. I do not love this play, but they will attack as a first step. And when they attack, they connive. I don't want to give them this. So we will counter anyway, and the enemy will untap, which is generally the same but worse for us. And this is the turn we wanted. Finally, there is no pressure, and we have mana untapped for the card draw. And he needs to be careful about the counter spells, so he needs to, you know, not play into anything. This is a horrible draw. Basically worse cards. I think we take Infernal Grasp, and I'm taking Fading Hope just to protect the Lier. Just to protect the Lier. Yeah, no reason to not play like this. I think. Yeah, that's right. Sup. With Fading Hopes, it is relatively safe. Even if Lier dies, enemy will need a lot of cards to do it. And we play once from the graveyard. So, you know, it's basically a 6 mana discard enemy card. And that's it. So, you know, it's not the worst. Enemy seems to be very short on value because he's playing more of a mid-range, I guess, than control. And we can definitely capitalize on this one. Alright, we have Memory Deluge open. It might get Jewaried or something, and that's definitely not great. But this is the risk I'm willing to accept. And honestly, if he wants to punish Memory Deluge, he needs to tap his Hive. So all of this will be tapped. He will have only 3 mana up. And then we just cast it. So it's basically do nothing, pay 5 mana. And that's really good for us. Yeah, if that's his play, I'm extremely happy. Let's just make sure we don't mess it up. Exile target. Alright, so we can answer to this effect. So let's make sure that 1 more mana is tapped. He put the target and now he cast it. So basically he did nothing because we would cast Memory Deluge anyway this turn. And right now if he wants to counter it, that's a big problem. Oh boy, I know what you guys want. Sure. I will definitely take all of those cards. Oh yeah, can you feel the scoop incoming from the enemy? Because I definitely can. Yes! Cards! Cards. Alright, we still somehow didn't hit a single island. Wow. Great, thank you Magic. Do we have March? We do not. So it means that we cannot cast anything, so for this reason we might as well cast the Tapland instead of Takenuma, and Takenuma might be very important. Hive, sure. Problem with the Hive is that it does nothing. Like, it literally does nothing right now. Because he pays 5 mana and he needs to do it 7 turns in a row without the answer, while the control player has like 10 cards. 13 cards, so obviously it's not something that will work. At this point I will just play the land, it's fine. And let's start pressuring him. Like, we can make him pay 3, and with such card advantage we don't really even mind it. I assume one of the spiders will die, for some weird reason. Easy. Man, I love Spell Pierce so much. Like, I never liked the card, because I was always against it. Like, I was hit by the enemy by this card. But with new art, I feel the card is completely different, and right now it's just a control card for me. Alright. Honestly, I think we're just fading hope it. Alright, and this time, maybe just kill it. Yeah, why not kill it? Like, we are at 18, no reason to not just get rid of it for, like, finally. And we do it now because every card that we don't get exiled from the graveyard is potentially Lier value. I mean mostly Seagate Restoration, if we really need more value. Field of Ruin, cool. I will play this stuff. Let's draw cards, because, you know, we only have 10 cards in the hand. And right now we have infinite control over the game. So whatever enemy will do, like, probably we can answer it very well. Sure. I guess we could play Lier. Yeah, I will play Lier, because enemy right now has only one card. And only 1 mana. So he cannot counter Lier, and for the rest, like removal and stuff, like, he cannot kill Lier. Unless his top deck is perfect and he still goes 2 for 1. So right now other cards that he plays that go with our removal don't matter. Basically he's wasting it right now. Sure. We just get full value from Lier. And when we untap with Lier and Seagate Restoration, oh boy, the game will be even more over than it is already. Cool. And we will never pass the opportunity to go into 21 cards in the end. We will play this next turn. We have enough time. I want more cards. I still don't think 22 is enough. And, you know, let's attack. Seems fine. Okay, I will do it. Just because we probably kill next turn if we do it. Alright. Yeah, so that was the game. I hope you enjoyed it. 21 cards in the hand. And for anyone that was thinking if one Seagate Restoration makes a difference, this game is dedicated for you. I think it does. Alright, first time we actually have very decent hand. So let's go with the Marsh probably at the start, while we show the enemy exactly what's up. Oh, I like those. They are pretty sweet. No idea how you get them, but they are pretty sweet. And we definitely want the 2 mana for Indulgence, for the removal, for stuff. Aspirant, sure. Do we go for removal or card draw? I would love to activate this before we play it, and with Field of Ruin we actually have some chances to do it. For this particular reason, we'll go Field of Ruin now. There is a high chance we just play it, but you know. Sure. You need to Field of Ruin at the end step. Otherwise he can level up for free, and this is awful for you. This fixes his mana, but it gives us additional card in the graveyard, and that's more important. Also we get additional black for Invoke Despair. We already cast our colorless mana. Now we need all swamps until the end of time. That's my swamp, thank you. Meathook Massacre. There is a point to just Meathook right now. They might go greedy and level up the Ranger class. They usually really want to. However, like, we have enough lands, I think, to make Meathook Massacre really good for the later. port. We need untap land. Man, this is a very hard decision because those lands are tapped. And this means we cannot cast Invoke Despair next turn. Maybe we draw one. Maybe we draw one. If not, maybe we just go with Tainted Indulgence and just make sure that we can cast it. 2 damage? Sure, bro. That's not enough to force us to play something. If that's all, I'm really happy about it. So, it seems that he wanted to force something and it backfired and now he doesn't really know what to do. Wedding announcement. Okay, interesting one. That makes our Invoke Despair pretty bad. Alright. That's in. I probably should Tainted Indulgence in response. That was my bad. He gets the token anyway. So Invoke Despair only draws 1 card, kills the token, and kills Ranger class probably. Not the best. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have cast Tainted Indulgence in response. We don't get punished. That's good. Shadow Verdict is great. This is great. This is great. Hagra Mauling. That's Hagra Mauling. Yeah, this is 4 mana. So we activate... Alright, because this is 2 draw. Yeah. Alright. Do we go for Sorin? Yes, we do. They don't have red. And by don't, I mean they have red. Let's go greedy version. Like, we still get the card, even if Sorin dies. And we pressure enemy to do something with haste. Alright, they did something with haste. This is pretty much perfect for them. They wanted to play this, and they have exactly perfect 5 damage, so that's really good for them. However, we have options now. I would really like 1 more lands before we'd go for Lier thing. They still have 1 token to go. They don't really run removal. Let's go for Lier. I think it's good enough. This is very hard game for bad reasons. Yeah, this was extremely perfect draw from the enemy. However, like, we don't fear his creatures. As long as our stuff stays in the game, we are completely fine with whatever is going on. Sure. Just 8 damage to the face, we don't care. And if we Shadow Verdict now, what really is enemy play? Like, we can do it quite a lot. And now we have Fading Hope. This is so good that Shadow Verdict doesn't exile Lier. Enemy might attack with the Lair, but we might actually want to bait it. Like, I do not mind it one bit. So let's get this 3 damage from the enemy. And we can Shadow Verdict again next turn. We can also double Fading Hope, and he knows about it. So, yeah, Lier. How do you fight Lier? Even though enemy has very high value, everything he does has like multiple triggers of everything. But it's still hard to compete with Lier even with such value and us being a bit mana screwed, because I think we missed some land drops. It feels that we don't have enough. But we will fix them at some point. Yeah, he went with the Lair. Greedy. So how do you attack? Sure. Perfect. Soul Transfer. We will have Meathook. We won't have the other thing. I think we can get something better. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad, but honestly, even land feels a bit better. Alright, so how do we do it? I think this is Fading Hope and Invoke, right? We can start working on the scrap. But then we cannot use it on Lier, so maybe let's do it like this. Wait. No, okay. I will get there. I might be a bit slow, but I will figure out all the options. And suddenly he needs to start discarding stuff, which is really sweet. And we can start using Tainted Indulgence. I think we are in the point that we do not need to pressure him. Like we need to make attacks a bit more awkward. And with Invoke Despair in the graveyard, like we are gaining a lot of value that he cannot really match. So we just need to stabilize. Join the dance. Perfect. If he doesn't pressure us enough with haste, we completely do not care and we just draw cards and play Meathook and we win the game. Restoration actually might be an issue. We cannot counter spells though. So you get your planes, you monster. You get your planes. It means we need to pay more for the Meathook, but just 1 extra mana, so it's okay. Unless he played the land? Oh, he played the land, never mind. So let's keep drawing. We need to hit our runs and recover. That's actually really good. Okay, the third one is a bit too much, but other than this. So, like, Meathook seems pretty good card. I heard. Nice. And we are getting back. You can see how Lier drains the power out of this guy. Like, he was so ahead with all this Felidar play. And slowly but surely he's getting more and more behind. 1 damage is not worth it. Yeah, starting from the next turn I think I might start attacking, because this is where we will have enough power over the game that we can start attacking and still have everything up. I really want to cast Chain Invoke Despair, honestly, because this is how we get incredibly ahead. And the tokens don't matter because we have so much removal and Fading Hope is just, you know, not a thing. We still have Shadow Verdict, by the way. Problem is that we cannot choose which enchantment to get rid, and he plays so many of them that, yeah, it's a bit funny. Yeah, please activate it. So I can get rid of one of them. The faster we do it, the better. Enemy doesn't see the next Infernal Grasp, so he doesn't know that we have basically infinite Infernal Grasps. But I think even from what we have in the graveyard, it just seems like a bad play, to be honest. Like, Hagra Mauling is such a perfect answer to this and is mana efficient. So I'm not sure what the idea was here. We do get rid of our perfect card draw with 5 different costs, but I think it's worth it. With Invoke Despair we are not scared of not having cards. Alright, so how do we do it? How do we do it? Celestus seems pretty sweet. So maybe we just go Celestus. This is what, 2 counters, he plays a creature, so there are 2/2. And then he has this thing. So we need to Shadow Verdict next turn, I think. So let's get an additional card and get rid of some enchantment. Also we relieve some of the pressure from the board. And if we can hit another Invoke Despair, we can't, but if we could, that would be perfect. Alright, so we have Infernal Grasp up, 13 life and Lier. That's quite a lot. And we need Infernal Grasp to just make sure that he cannot activate the Lier. We only have 2 lands to get rid of. And I waited because this is a 3-drop, so it's perfect target for Shadow Verdict, and this is something that needs to be removed. Sure. If that's your play, I'm feeling really confident right now. You can even take this hit, honestly. It doesn't really change too much. Okay. So he deals 2 damage in the end, I think. I will still kill it, of course. I don't think he has a way to kill the Lier. I think it's just, you know... Huh. He should... I don't think he should run like Snake Skill Veil or something. And given the fact that we have so much HP, I'm a bit scared to block. That hesitation was weird. Maybe he wanted to bait the block with Lier and just Snake Skill Veil it and kill it, because losing Lier is how we might lose the game. But if we do not lose the Lier, I think we are extremely fine. And now Shadow Verdict is looking really hot. Alright, let's play the land, shall we? Alright, and we have enough stuff to just keep attacking right now. We played 1. I think this is really good. If he goes all in with the Lair, I think we are happy with this. And drawing cards is incredibly nice here. Especially that every card in the graveyard basically counts as a card in the hand, so Celestus is basically a hard card draw. Let's see if he leaves 1 mana. That's a very big tell if he has some protection spell. There is no reason to leave 1 mana if you are going for the kill. And I don't think he can kill us. Also, there might be an interesting play that if he lacks 1 damage to kill us, he needs to play Snake Skill first. Yeah, like, this seems fishy, right? He always keeps up 2 mana for some reason. And we will play around it. Oh, okay. Sure. I'm pretty happy about this one. We could try to bait him. Maybe he doesn't remember that Lier is on the board, but maybe let's not risk it. We might hit the counter from him, and we want to kill the Hydra first, because this is the problematic creature. The rest is very easy to answer. So I hope the counter goes here. Ah, and we got it. Nice. Is this... yeah, he has no cards in the hand. Yeah, I think we are like so ahead right now that it's barely possible to even lose this game anymore. Let's play Lorth, cause reasons. And I guess we Fading Hope, cause it's fun. We double spell so we get Celestus trigger. Yeah, Meathook is great, like against his deck is exactly what you want to hit. And let's just keep attacking it, smork him up to 0 HP, and I think the game is already over. And I will say so myself, the navigation was pretty decent, I think. Pretty decent. Not perfect, definitely, but we did pretty fine. Like, he had... look how much he had value out of this Felidar retreat, all the tokens, all this stuff, it was just so much value. And we... like Lier, if you cannot answer Lier, it's infinite value. And Celestus really helps because it's basically a card draw. So really a lot of stuff going on for us. And with Meathook Massacre we can be really like happy with using all the small stuff. And you know what? You know what? We can actually do something very interesting. I will be greedy. Well, actually, we just killed the enemy, right? Alright, alright. We will kill the enemy. I wanted to trade Shadow Verdict and then attack with Lier, but it's just fancy. We should probably just go with the spiders and attack him. So the game was over, but I think that was an interesting one. Alright, opponent goes first. We have Fading Hope and card draw. We feel okay. I would definitely prefer to be on the draw, on the play. but that's not really the case only this time, right? We are seemingly against Azorius, and generally better version. Well, okay, maybe not better, but more popular one. It seems to be the tempo one. So for this reason, we will definitely go with the Fading Hope target. He might have Delver, but just wait for... Okay, so maybe it's not. You'll have to see it. Let's go for Dimir mana. And we might be up for really enjoyable control against control. Oh, so... Okay, I was thinking about covering this deck, because I think it's really interesting. So basically they have 4 Fateful Mending, and they have like... some big creatures, don't remember which one, maybe Kairi, Hullbreaker Horror, something like this. And they have Invoke, oh, and Jin-Gitaxias, I think, and they have Invoke Justice in the deck. This is main thing. Restoration of the Ganjo is probably coming next turn. So, sure, let's give him the decisions first. Sorry for Doktadaki for stalling the game, but you know, we have responsibilities to discuss the decks, to learn Magic. Right, and to pet our dragons. So first we want him to make the call, because right now he doesn't exactly know. It might be Dimir Zombies for all he knows, and also that's an end step that I completely did not miss. I didn't miss it so much. Alright, great stuff. Quality as always. Fading Hope probably not really what we want in this matchup. In this kind of matchup you really want to go for the value. Huh. Alright, time to try hard a bit. There is a chance that they will do something at the end step, and you do not. So you really want to show the enemy, yes, I do have stuff. In the meantime you can make stops. This will change how he plays very often. Like, imagine if he just saw that we have no instants. Man, if he has some 4 mana Planewalker, he slams it so hard. I would slam it so hard. However, when he sees hesitation and thinking, he definitely might do it, but that's not the correct play, really. Alright, and now we can actually play normally without pretending we are someone we aren't. I'm pretty proud of this last turn play. I should actually notice what the enemy is doing, I guess. And we are not casting Memory Deluge. Right now we have proof that we have instant. Alright, so we are control against control, very nice. They might have Dennis. If they have Depopulate instead of Doomskars, it might be Dennis deck. Which I actually, after playing it, decided it's pretty sweet. Juar incoming, probably. Maybe it is too greedy, but yeah, it could work, so I just went with it. Raffine Tower is really cool. Huh. Alright. We do not have Spell Pierce, or anything like it. Alright, this is big turn. If we wait, enemy might hardcast something and we are behind. We should probably start casting something. The problem is that we don't have counter spells. That's really a big problem. We don't have great plays here. Maybe we'll just wait with Memory Deluge and fish for counter spells. Sure. That is fine. While the enemy, it really helps the enemy. He can like mend his hand. Imagine if we could turn all those cards that aren't great for the matchup into like actual counter spells. So right now I would say he is a bit ahead. And he had Juari. Interesting, he did not play it. Meathook is not the worst because it enables our 3 mana thingy. But Hall demands some instant. Oh no, you are definitely not getting rid of this one. We have 2 more Meathooks. And we don't have the 3 mana exile thingy. Alright. So for now we are just both cycling our crap and trying to find counter spells. There is a chance enemy also doesn't have perfect draw with the counter spells, but honestly I think he probably has better than ours, because we really are heavy on the removal right now. So it will be hard. And Memory Deluge is really good here, because enemy has only one counter spell, he really doesn't want to counter what we play right now. Alright, like land is here a cardo, because Raffine Tower is in our hand, so if we hit other land, we don't need to play, you know, Raffine Tower as a land. That's easy to miss, but really important. Enemy has Field of Ruin, so let's not go crazy with the stuff. Alright, Celestus is extremely important. I hope it doesn't get countered. Generally, Sorin would be good play, but with so much cardo and discarding Jewelry, he definitely has a counter spell. I think it is Sow It Coming or Dissipate. Probably Sow It Coming. So for this reason, we could also switch to day-night time, but I'm trying to bluff basically. The only reason I'm not tapping is that he didn't check for counter spells so far, and I'm pretty sure he thinks we have them. And we want to make sure that he believes it. Now he can cast an instant, but it won't be a Hullbreaker Horror or anything like this. It's fine. Like, we are both doing the same thing. And right now, he basically tapped. If we hit Spell Pierce, we can cast Staff. Alright, alright. Yeah, Hall of the Storm Giants isn't great here because of Field of Ruin. But you know what? Oh no, we have land in the graveyard. I thought that it might activate our Indulgence. I think it is a Sorin turn. Enemy doesn't have great answers. I would love to. Man, I actually will play Staff. And this will be a blue Staff. Because we might Tainted Indulgence into Spell Pierce if we have to. We don't go into nighttime, which sucks a bit. It might be Negate. Yeah, it is Negate. How hard do we want to go? I think enemy will go all in after this turn. So I don't think we have much of a choice. And discarding one card is not a big difference, to be honest. Not with this kind of hand. Alright, we just showed that we probably don't have a counter spell because we evidently tried to get one. I will still try hard because that's who I am. But I think the play that we don't have anything in the hand is quite obvious. Like, we needed Spell Pierce quite a bit. And okay, nice. We might... okay. Honestly, Jewelry is not the worst. It's probably Hagra Mauling. It might activate some stuff. Nope. I should probably be more conscious about what I discard, but, you know, why would you play good if you don't have to? We are entering the Memory Deluge territory. So, you know, enemy actually can do it, but we will Jewelry it. Yes. Yes, Jewelry it. Oh, can you feel the pain? And we can actually get Jewelry it as well. We might do exactly the same thing. I call your bluff. I think you might not have a Jewelry. But yeah, I might get Jewelry. Ah, it worked. Alright, this is extremely important. Port of Karfeld is a really interesting card here. Oh man, all of them are so interesting. Creatures in the grave. Sorin is actually pretty sick. We have Meathook. We only have one more Meathook. So I don't think that's a perfect play. Man, the port is so tempting. Do we have value for the control matchup in the graveyard? We have Tainted Indulgence. Double. Probably not the biggest deal. I really like Spell Pierce. I actually do want Spell Pierce so much. Yeah, let's go like this. It might not be the perfect thing, but I will go with it. Alright, Seagate Restoration is a very decent draw. If enemy has hard counter spell, alright, we cannot do exactly much about it. But it won't get better than this, and he very likely doesn't. Well, I think he has counter spells, but he plays like he doesn't really have them, or is really like hesitant on what to counter. Told you, Spell Pierce. Jewelry wouldn't work. Spell Pierce? Mwah. Mwah. Perfect. It feels just perfect. Did we double spell this turn? We did not. We are milling ourselves so much. So freaking much. Yes, I want all the freaking cards in the world. We only have one untapped land. Verdict is fuel for March, I guess, if we have infinite card draw. Card size. Hand size. So maybe we just go with the swamp. Yeah. Let's be extremely greedy. Like right now I want to go for maximum value and not really tempo, so mana is not as important because sooner or later we will cast all of our spells at some point. Probably we will mill ourselves much faster than this. Problem is that we need to kill the enemy with this freaking Field of Ruin. Can you please use it on something that is not my haul? We might try to bait with Port. Yeah, I think Port might be important. Yeah, he can draw as much as he wants. He is ahead in the mill game. And I'm pretty sure he won't go below this. So we need to kill him. And that might be a smart idea from the enemy. This might be a smart idea. We have Spell Pierce and Jewelry. So let's start making the damage, because with Lier, like this card makes Lier extremely scary for them. Without Invoke Despair in the graveyard, Lier is not a big problem for them. We need to start, you know, killing them slowly but surely. Jewelry is a card. Do we want to bait something? Yes, we actually do. Can you give me my card, please? Thank you. Alright, I hope he feels smart and goes for it. And thinks, huh, he didn't think about Field of Ruin. Oh no, he didn't take the bait. Oh, why didn't you take the bait? Revitalize, sure. Like, him drawing cards, I respect him as a player. That's why I don't go for the mill game, because I think he's clever enough to notice when we change the gameplay. And then we don't really gain anything in the end. I think we need more cards. I do not feel fulfilled with this one. Those are pretty good ones. Jewelry is not the worst. Sure. Let's just double Celestus. 26 to 16. Is there any chance we do it? Like, we have enough for a moment, so let's maybe play like this. Alright. Alright, so let's start with the Lolth. We have stuff that gets back cards. I don't remember where it is, but with Port, Lolth is extremely scary. Alright, we can start draining enemy answers slowly but surely. Alright, so we have 5, 6 mana. For this turn we want the maximum mana, because we tapped quite heavily to play stuff. As the person that casts spells, you are a bit behind by default. So this is why we play like this. And with Spell Pierce, Jewelry, we have some ways to punish the enemy if he overtaps. Fateful Absence. That's definitely not one of them. But we have Port. I highlighted it so the enemy might actually Field of Ruin it, it's fine. I don't think we use the clue. Memory Deluge. It would be... maybe we just let him through. Enemy has only 5 cards. I think we need to go for this. I think this is our strategy, trying to strangle him, so he just cannot, you know, use everything as he wants to use. Yeah. Like, if enemy is not allowed to draw a lot of cards, it will help us quite a bit. We have enough answers, so let's go like this. This will be extremely hard, but I think we have a fair shot if we play it right. I'm not sure if we win. It feels that we are behind because we are more against, you know, as you can see, most of our hand is removal. We are a bit skewed toward aggro. And like I guess he is too. We'll see on the win conditions. My turn. Do we have something good to do at the end step? Not really, right? I guess I will go for this. No reason to not. Like, we can get good answers this way. Oh! See? That's important. Alright. Alright, I actually won't draw with this one. I prefer Memory Deluge because you dig 4 cards, but you get only 2 of them out of the deck. So you can get best parts of your deck and get the fillers to, you know, just draw every turn, just for you to give you time for the creatures to smork. And we can get back Lorf at the end step, which is pretty sweet. Like, we need a lot of cards with Invoke Disperse. This is Field of Ruin. And yeah, we need to really conserve those cards. This will be a pretty close game. I think we can cast 1 Lier, right? Or maybe just cast Invoke Despair. The port is still open. Enemy is going up to 6 cards, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, he just can take the damage. However, we kill Field of Ruin, then we play Hall of the Storm Giants and Hive next turn. And this is something we need to protect. We supplement this with Lier and Lolf, and I think we have quite a bit of pressure. Yeah, nothing we can do about this one. So right now we need to constrain him a bit on the pressure and mana. And hopefully, I think we had Jewelry, right? Yeah, we have 1. And he will probably maximize the value quite heavily. As you can see, he is feeling the pressure and he's trying to draw. But that's really good for him, so I'm not surprised. Second Hall. Alright. So I think this turn we need to get Lolf back into the game. We cannot protect her, but this is the name of the game. If he taps Field of Ruin, then we attack it. How my cards work? Oh. I'm a good player. That was very bad. That was actually the worst. Alright, we will work around it, but definitely my skills, not the perfect part of this game. Alright, attacking? Yeah, we definitely attack. Like, the spiders are a big part of our pressure right now. So Takenumo would be so much better. We would mill the same cards, but we would get just more value. So, let's go for Lolf. Yeah, Lolf kills faster. There was also alternative plan of Sorin, but it wouldn't leave until 7 loyalty anyway. Like, we need to make more spiders, but I do not think that he is threatened by this quite too much. Warbreaker. Okay. That's actually fine. So I think we might have enough answers. We have what? 4? 5 mana. Oh, that's greedy. That is greedy. So we can kill one of them. That's really good. Also, his Field of Ruin is the last card that's not tapped. That's pretty smart. We still pay the mana, so our Field of Ruin is activated. I think he has one spell, but then we kill the Hullbreaker. We got Fading Hope, but then I think he would allow it, because that's basically what he's doing anyway. But there is a very high chance he has another Hullbreaker, and that's why he plays like this. But then we have main phase answers, so it's still okay. And Invoke the Spurs are a real pain. So enemy just went for the attack. That's interesting. He doesn't need to. Okay. So if we counter, this doesn't change anything. We need instant removal. And enemy is tapped. He didn't play around stuff enough, I think. Let's check the counters. Yeah. We don't care about the clue or anything else. And Lolth is bounced. And this is exiled, but after the attack, so that's something. Alright, I do decline. Maybe we indeed drew a little bit too much cards. I have a weird feeling that that might not help us, but honestly, like, he would just draw less cards if we drew less cards, because the more we have, the more we can pressure him. And yeah, if we didn't pressure, he just have a very easy time with not doing anything. Yeah, Samurai is definitely not a problem. Emiria core. Okay, sure. So let's think about the answers. Do we Shadow Verdict or just Fading Hope multiple times? Shadow Verdict seems pretty sweet here. It also gets rid of the indestructible thingy. And we can actually go for the Hall, finally. Let's get rid of the field. Like, we don't have a lot of mana, so that's something to remember. And let's start with the main dish, because this Field of Ruin is what prevented us from attacking since so many turns. And we have 5 mana. Wandering Emperor is not a problem right now. Enemy is tapped out. However, we lack one. Can we play the land? No, we played. Yeah, we played it. So I think it's Lorth then. Lorth creates a bit more pressure that doesn't rely on whether it survives. With Lier, you don't get any value if it dies, and it will die. With Lorth dies, and we still have the spiders to attack next turn. You know, like, we have very limited time to kill the enemy, so we need to crank up the pressure like to maximum right now. Otherwise, we just simply cannot kill him in time. It will still be so hard. Man, I'm not sure if we can win this because of Field of Ruin. Like, it starts so many turns. I'm not sure what was shuffled back. Not Field of Ruin. That's interesting. No respect given, so I would suspect he has March. We have Fading Hopes, but we don't have enough time to replay the Hall. And for this reason, we probably want to attack with the Hall first, then Fading Hope, then replay it. Okay, I seen the Emperor. That's interesting. Man, my charger overheats my cell phone so much when it charges. Like, I always get this screen blinking. Alright, like, we need to go max value. This is March, but we have Juari. Alright, so I think we go like this. Oh boy, maybe we can do it. Raffine Tower, nope. We want to take all the non-land cards first. And I hope he will just go for the March. Problem is, if he's smart, he will exile stuff. But, you know, we'll work around it. Face is the place. Oh, nice. He didn't go for it. However, he's at 8 now. Invoke Despair needs to be our last card played. Alright. I think we go right now for 1 mana. You know what? Alright. I have an idea. I should probably have this idea a very long time ago. And that's a Meathook. For 0, because those extra lives can be the difference between killing him and not kill. You can see that he respects the damage. He knows this might be his demise. So he will be killing spiders right now. And we still have Lorf up, so if he kills spiders, you can make a new one. That's pretty sweet. We don't draw cards, of course. Alright. I'm pretty sure we do not pay a single extra mana. We are not kind of player that pays for stuff. We just get it for free. And I do not believe we will have time for double Shadow Verdict, especially for like Fading Hopes and stuff. We cannot cast Invoke Despair without dying, so yeah, we need to make sure it kills the enemy. Yeah, you repeat this process, so it's 2 life, then draw a card. 2 life, draw a card. So if we cast it next turn, we can deal 4 damage before we die. That's pretty funny. Alright. That was our turn. A bit scary what the enemy can do next turn. Fateful Mending, sure. Pretty good for him. Like, he just needs 2 turns of answers. He is theoretically at Lier, but not realistically. Did I play the land? Did I actually miss playing the Hive? Oh my god. I suck at this game. That was extremely important. Like, we have 1 turn more to do it, but that was one of the most important parts of the game. That's so not great. Also, if he ever loses this game, he didn't shuffle Field of Ruin that would save him, so this one would be on him. He should shuffle Field of Ruin, in my opinion. Alright. Man, this game is like control versus control, but so intense. Alright. Resolve. Life gain is definitely also a factor. The fact that enemy has untapped everything. Oh, okay, that was a card though. I thought, why the hell did I draw with Celestus somehow? Alright, so if we activate the Hall, we still have Fading Hopes. Let's be honest, we have to do it. Enemy, like, what are our cards in the graveyard? Soul Transfer and Invoke Despair. Yeah, we need to activate it and we need to get it marched. We do not have a choice, he will do the same next turn. Spiders. To me. It feels like Lier, but it's not a Lier. At all. Okay. If he activates the Hall, we just Fading Hope it, so it's not a good play. And he probably knows it. That's a lot of lands, my friend. Does he take all of this? That's a lot of damage. Fateful Absence. Can you pay the word first? Thank you. Alright. Alright. We could double Juwari, but he has exactly 2 mana. Smart by him. It has to be a Fading Hope. It has to be a Fading Hope. And why we have more than 1 card in the deck, at least here? Something didn't end up in this situation. Alright. So we need to go completely all in for the next turn. Enemy tapped out at least. Alright. Hor for the future attack. I guess the Hive wouldn't make the difference in the end. And this is something that gives us hope. Fading one, to be honest. It's a fading hope. And we do not draw a card because we die. Oh man, what a nail biter. I don't think we can do it. But enemy has only like 4 cards, you know? I do decline. And we do have fading hopes with Lier. That's why I cast Lier right now. So we ramp this extra pressure that might be something that breaks him. It's already 7 damage without the Hor. And if he wants to defend with his horse, I don't think that's a winning play. So he needs answers in those 4 cards, and he was discarding a lot of lands. Are you freaking serious? You monster! You freaking monster. If I had more mana, I would spell pierce him. But we do not. So might as well. Yeah, it's the same. Lorf won't have time to trigger the spiders. Yeah, I should not Fading Hope. I forgot about the Meathook. Meathook is actually pretty relevant damage here. Maybe I lost just because of this. Because enemy doesn't have a lot of mana to target the Hor. I think he is prepared. Revitalize. Yeah, we don't have mana. Okay, that's a lot. He's back to 16. So maybe this 1 damage wouldn't make a difference in the end. So let's go for the maximum damage for the epic end. Let's play Takenuma, untapped land. Let's go for the Hor. Let's attack our enemy. Man, I feel that we are missing the Lier very closely. We do it like this. And we invoke. Like, guys, if I didn't Fading Hope my Lier and had 3 more cards, we would kill him right now. Oh, and it went up to 1. Man, did I just miss Lier with this Lier thing? I shouldn't Fading Hope. There was no way I can replay it with any effect. Oh man, I'm sure I messed this game. This was winnable. But I think that was a pretty epic game, so I think I will leave it. So first of all, I hope we all learned something. I definitely will play differently after this game. Like, what went wrong? We overdrew. Like, I made fun of it, but I really overdrew a bit. Especially in the end, I think. So that was a big mistake. Second, definitely bouncing Lier. That's not something I should do. And I should Meathook Massacre much earlier to start draining him. And I think if we did those things, we would win. So I hope you enjoyed the game. And don't forget to subscribe if you like. Why not?